ambition was to be a police officer. And somehow I looked more like a police officer than most of the police officers look. Farmhouse of Mr. RajKapoor. And his one wish should be turned into a educational institute where new minds can be trained. And Dr. Karad fulfilled his wish. RajKapoor from heaven must be very happy. He looks down and looks at his Rajbagh and what it has happened.
Namaskar. I'm Dr. Deepa Bhajekar from Vishwashanti Darshan. I have with me this afternoon a very, very interesting personality, the talented Mr. Bharat Dabholkar, known for advertising. He's an advertising legend, a theatre personality, a film actor, a director, and a very, very versatile, well-read, knowledgeable person. So that's advertising and theatre. What made you turn to films? I mean, what was the incentive there?
I got into theatre also by, I think, I had never done theatre in school, maybe one or two plays. I played in some third standard, I played the Mahabharat skit in which I played Bhim. That was not because of my acting talent. I was the toughest looking guy in the school, so they gave me that role. But I never was interested in theatre. And I was thrown out of, in college they took me for a Marathi play. And we used to rehearse in the head of the department's room. And he used to sit behind the curtain and do his work. And he could hear all of us rehearsing. And one day he came and said, "Who's that boy who's doing that role?" And they said, "Bharat Dabholkar." They said, "He's very bad, throw him out." So they threw me out of the play after some 5-6 days of rehearsals. So I felt very hurt and I said, "I'll never do theatre again."
I'm sure he was proud when he watched all your plays thereafter.
So then I got into dancing and things like that. So I never went to theatre. In advertising, a lot of senior advertising guys, heads of agencies, whether it was Sylvester Dicuna, Alec Padamsi, or Jerson Dicuna, these guys were involved in English theatre.
That's how you got
it.
Because of that agency.
Because of that agency thing, I got into theatre, and I suddenly realized that these guys are doing very English plays. They are just taking a foreign play and reproducing it exactly as it is. So the people there, if it's a play set in London with a John and a Mary and a Peter, here it would be again John, Mary and Peter, a Parsi, Punjabi, whatever character doing it. So it had a limited audience.
Correct.
Maharashtrians didn't want to see English plays, they saw Marathi plays, Gujaratis saw Gujarati plays, Hindi speaking saw. So the English theatre was very limited. So when I started doing theatre, I started taking people from regional languages. So I had actors from Marathi theatre, I had actors from Gujarati theatre, from Hindi theatre. And that they were class apart. English theatre did not have acting of that caliber.
I see.
So that certainly worked.
To relate to the Indian audiences, this worked very, very well.
In advertising, we call it empathy. That means the audience empathizes with what you are saying. They understand. You can make a mistake.
You relate to the
audience. I
always
say in communication, correctness of language is not important. Correctness of communication is important. I can make a mistake that the audience also makes. My pronunciation can be, my accent can be wrong. But so is the audience's. So they relate to you. So that's what worked in my plays. I mean, when I did longest running plays, the credit doesn't go to me. I wrote all these plays, but I had this great bunch of regional theatre actors, some of the biggest names in theatre. And they were all shy first. People like Mohan Bhandari and Harish Patel and Manmohan Krishna who acted in my plays, or Dilip Prabhakar. They all said, "Look, we do Hindi and Marathi plays, we can't do English. We can't speak English like this. Suppose we forget a dialogue, what will we do?" And I said, "If you forget a dialogue, speak in whatever language you want."
Correct.
And that worked brilliantly. So it was a combination of this kind of talent and a play that was relatable to the audience. That's how plays work.
So I think all your career span and all your choices have always been an incredible creativity. But I also know that you're a fantastic fitness enthusiast and you've stayed fit all along.
Yeah, I used to box for my college. In welterweight, I used to box 1 year for my college and the second year for the University of Mumbai. And boxing is very easy in university levels because...
Is that why you get all the roles in your films?
No, but boxing what happens is, we have 3 rounds, 3 minutes each. And most of the people, they smoke the whole year and only 1 month before the boxing, they stop smoking. So they don't have much stamina. So by the time you come to the 3rd round, they're so tired that they're just standing with their hands down. So if you can just push him, you win. So it's
So smoking takes away stamina. It's a great message for students as well.
All the students, every time I talk to students, that in my entire life, I have never smoked one puff of the cigarette. I don't know what smoking is.
Fantastic.
With all the stress, with all the tension that advertising
and
theatre,
from that
everything goes.
industry.
And the thing is, everybody says I smoke because I have tension, I have stress. So you smoke because I have a campaign to produce tomorrow and I haven't thought of an idea. I have never smoked once in my life. And I have launched most of Vijay Mallya's drinks that are in the market. On
Never
the
had a
whiskeys.
sip?
Never sipped even wine or beer or even champagne in my entire life.
Not a taste, huh?
Only milk. So I think that I tell the students that if you want to smoke and drink, do it because you want to do it.
Not because it's macho.
Don't say that it's macho or it is because I have stress. That's why I have advertising stress. I write plays. Every show is different. Things are going wrong in a play. People forget dialogue. The audience is different. You have stress at that. At the end of the play, people are sitting together and drinking and smoking. So there's always the desire to.
But I think it's incredible that you've managed to not get influenced despite being and working nights till early morning. I guess your creativity is last till 4 a.m.
And I advise to all the students that don't do this, don't get into it. It's not macho. If you smoke, girls don't get impressed.
And vice versa.
And you don't have to drink to get rid of your stress. And so that's how theatre worked, and that's how advertising worked. In films, I wasn't interested in films. Out of the blues, one day, Shah Rukh Khan, who must have seen my plays, called me up and said, I'm doing a film with some other friends of yours, Juhi Chawla and Jackie Shroff. So would you like to act in it? And I said, look, I have an agency I'm running. He said, no, we are shooting in Mumbai. So I went and did a film called 1 2 Ka 4. And suddenly that opened up gates to different films.
Nice.
RajKapoor Verma called up and said, I'm doing a film called Company, will you come and act in it? And so it just went on and on. So I've done, I don't know how many Hindi films, I've done Marathi films, I've done Tamil film with Rajnikant, I've done a Telugu film with Nagarjuna, I've done a Malayalam film with Mohanlal and Dilip and Jairam and Prithviraj, were the biggest stars.
And also I think you spent a lot of time with Rajnikant, I remember.
17 days I spent with him, and he's the best human being I've ever met in my life.
Maybe you can talk about the characteristics of some successful personalities, because students who are watching this program, they would like to know what is it that it takes to make you successful. So maybe you can touch upon what to retain as. Humility
is something that I think the bigger you grow. In Sanskrit we have a thing which says Vidya Vinayana Shobhate. In Marathi I have it. Which means that it's the humility that represents
the higher you climb,
the more humble you should be. And the classic example of that was Rajnikant. That he's the biggest superstar in any industry. Most humble man you'll ever meet. And I can talk for the next 3 hours about only Rajnikant. But meeting all these guys and acting in all these films, I even acted in the Bhojpuri film, which was a crazy experience for me, but it was fun.
Nice.
So I've done all of this. I can act equally madly in about 5 languages. And I love acting in South Indian films.
For those who don't know you, this is classic Bharat humor. So
no, it's not humor. I love acting in South Indian films because there if I act badly, they think I'm acting badly because I don't understand the language. In Hindi and Marathi, they know I understand the language and I still act badly. But somehow, people are scared of me.
You've still gotten by.
They don't
this is the humility talking, I guess.
The humility. It's so that they're scared of me. They don't want to correct me.
No.
So that's how film started. And then other things came up. And
Bharat Dabholkar is known for humor, and Bottoms Up has been fantastic. And the son of Bottoms Up and the grandson of Bottoms Up. And now you're writing this very, very serious play on Nathuram Must Die. I think it's on Nathuram Godse. What made you come to this controversial subject, and how do you think the audience is going to look at you when you write serious play?
That's one problem I'm going to have, is that I had done Purush, which was a classic Marathi play, which in fact gave prominence to Nana Patekar and Reema Lagu. In fact, they launched their careers, this play. I did that in English with some brilliant actors. It didn't work because people didn't want to see a serious play. They said of this rape of a school teacher, we read about it, we see it on TV. In the evening when we come out, we want to laugh and have a good time, and it's a family outing. So I did Purush as the only serious play amongst my other plays. I've written 3 children's plays which were very successful. Ramdas Padhe, one of the biggest children's play ever done in India. I had written it, directed it. Ramdas Padhe did all the dolls and puppets and all that in there. When I thought of doing something different after the lockdown, I had seen Nathuram Godse Bolta years ago, and I felt that this is a good subject today, because I find that today's youngsters especially don't take interest in knowledge. They restrict themselves to Facebook posts, forwarding them, or WhatsApp groups and forwarding different things.
That
They
is
don't go deeper
information,
into
isn't it?
That is information, that is not knowledge. So the thing is, I feel that, see, this is not to make a point, this is to start a debate. I feel that you should do subjects. See, I do comedies all the time. They brilliantly work. My Bottoms Up is running for the last 30 years. My Blame It on Russia is running for the last 9 years, unstoppable. But I thought a serious play like this would start the debate. It is not saying that Nathuram was right or wrong, or Gandhiji was right.
It's about opening different perspectives.
See, finally, knowledge comes from a debate. That you say, this is a point of view, somebody says, no, I don't agree with that point of view.
Correct.
Why don't you agree with that point of view? Then somebody says, I don't agree because of this. Then you say, no, but this is... That debate is what gives you knowledge. So I think every aspect for a youngster, they should get into discussing things and getting deeper into it. And it's very easy now. At our times, we had to go to a library to find reference books and find the thing. Now on Google, you find it immediately. I remember once I was having a discussion with some friend and we were discussing Mahabharata. And the question came, why would a mother name her children, give them negative names? Why would she call him Duryodhan and Dushyasan? I mean, why would a mother give negative names to the thing? And nobody had an answer. So I came home, it was playing on my mind. So I came in on Google, I said, meaning of the word Duryodhan or Dushyasan. And some 50 sites opened. And it said that Duryodhan is not a negative word. It's like Durga is not a negative word. Duryodhan means a Yodha that is difficult to defeat.
Oh, I see.
Dushyasan means a king whose shasan is strict. Now, it's so easy to find all these answers. The interest is what is lacking. People want to know about film stars. They want to know what happened in history in India, what happened to Sambhaji Raje. They don't want to know that. It's not of their interest. So I feel these kinds of things should start that little interest in subjects like this, and that will improve the whole society. Because we are the youngest nation in the world, and the prosperity of our nation depends on the youngsters.
True.
Like me.
You always said you're 18, and I hope you always remain so.
18.
And on this wonderful note, I want to thank you, Bharat Dabholkar, for coming and speaking with us. And I must tell the audience and the students at this point that this very, very versatile and creative man is one of the most well-read human beings that I know. You talk about Jnaneshwari, he knows. He talk about Mahabharata, he knows. You talk about history, and he'll give you a talk for an hour and a half. So I think we must take the cue and points from what have been the strengths for his success. I think it's deep interest, a lot of passion, tons of hard work, and a continuous zest to stay young. Thank you all for watching us.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
So much.